From July 12th to 16th, you may have unusual sensations inside your body rather than outside of it. It may be mild or strong, but one thing is certain. If you're spiritually sensitive, the following 4 days will feel abnormal. There are times when energy does more than merely shift. It penetrates your body like a silent force, altering your sleep, appetite, senses, and even your emotions. And yet, no one appears to notice. You may awaken feeling as if you have inhabited a different version of yourself. You may feel unusual sensations in your chest, a change in your breathing pattern, or even how your body reacts to light, sound, or touch. And, strangely, none of it indicates to illness. It is not medical. It is not random. These are rather uncommon spiritual body symptoms, and they appear when your system begins to communicate with things outside of your environment. This is not your ordinary waking. This is what happens when your spirit and body start preparing for a compacted, energetic upgrade between July 12th and July 16th. Many of you will encounter things that do not make sense till now. These are not the indications you are accustomed to hearing. These are age-related weird bodily symptoms that reveal your system is no longer working normally as it was last week, because something far deeper is awakening within you. Now, let us begin. This isn't the heaviness you get from physical exhaustion. This is something else completely. Over the next several days, especially while sleeping, meditating, or laying in bed, your skin may begin to feel dense, as if it is pressing down on your bones. Nonetheless, there is no obvious explanation. You're not bloated or painful, but there's an indisputable sensation that your skin is under some kind of unseen pressure. What you're experiencing isn't bodily tiredness. It's called energetic saturation. Your skin is one of the most sensitive and energetic organs in your body. And during moments of strong waking, particularly in expedited windows like this 4-day shift, it begins to absorb more static from the environment. That static accumulates not only emotionally, but semantically, and your skin begins to bear it. You may be more sensitive to clothes. You could feel yourself adjusting your blanket repeatedly. Alternatively, you may feel uncomfortable in your own garment. This is not about discomfort. Your body is signaling this. It's being recalibrated. Even a light touch might feel magnified. You may shun people's embraces without realizing why. It is your skin's method of indicating that there is too much signal flowing in. I need some room. This ailment will most likely resolve after the 16th. But until then, make a note of it. Your skin is malfunctioning. It translates energy into sensations. And the weight you feel is not physical. It is the pressure of energy traveling quicker than your system is accustomed to. This is one of the most perplexing symptoms that people experience amid quick spiritual transformations. You go about your day without incident, but the instant you sit down, close your eyes, or attempt to relax, your chest tightens. It's not a panic. It is not anxiousness. It is not associated with racing thoughts or shortness of breath. It's just this mild tightness that occurs when your guard is down. Here's what's actually occurring. Your body is attempting to relieve accumulated stress that has been held for years. However, it can only do so if you cease acting for the world. Between July 12th and 16th, this might be more prominent than ever. Why? Because your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest and repair, is attempting to release old holding patterns. The chest is frequently the first target, as it stores sadness, heartbreak, fear of being recognized, and even ancestral patterns. Your soul is using this 4-day period to gradually remove emotional constriction, not by depleting you via pain, but by moving that tension upward for release. But here's the catch. It cannot happen while you're preoccupied. Therefore, it appears when you are calm and motionless, when your mind quits working. And when it happens, it's as if your chest is communicating for the first time. Do not fight it. Don't panic. Simply breathe through it. Even great. Put one hand on your chest and say nothing. Simply observe the beat. That tightness is not a danger. It is a doorway, a final opening before the energy departs for good. One of the more unusual symptoms you may experience between July 12th and 16th is a low, constant, vibrating sensation in your spine, particularly while sitting straight, reclining back in a chair, or resting flat on a solid surface. It's neither pain nor a twitch. It's a slight hum. It appears like something beneath the skin is quietly humming. You may even characterize it as a pulse or signal coursing down your back. You're experiencing nerve system awakening, but not in the spectacular Kundalini rising fashion. Most individuals talk about this in a more subtle way. It is the area of your system that has now calmed down enough to allow latent energy to begin flowing vertically via your root, spine, and higher energy centers. Your spine connects your physical world to your spiritual current. During high energy moments like these, the body becomes more conductive and the spine detects these invisible frequencies first. If your spine has remained stagnant for many years, it may now start transmitting rather than storing. You may sense this when meditating. You may feel it when resting flat on your back in bed. You may even feel it while driving. It does not imply anything is wrong. It indicates your back, the portion of your body that represents everything, is learning to release rather than grip. Let happen. Do not attempt to block the sensation. Simply observe it. You're getting more energetic, flowing, and tuned. That home is in your spine. That is your body, aligning with a higher beat. One, it was always wired to accept, but it just recently felt safe enough to welcome. This one may surprise you. Over the following 4 days, you could notice something extremely distinctive. Sudden surges of saliva or the need to swallow even while not eating or drinking. It might happen while speaking or in the midst of stillness. You may not be thirsty. You may not be nervous. However, your body responds with a swallowing reflex, and this occurs repeatedly. This isn't about hydration. Your vagus nerve is causing you to think in a deeper way. The vagus nerve regulates your parasympathetic response, which means it helps slow your heart rate, digestion, and breathing. And during spiritual awakening, particularly high-frequency changes, such as July 12th to 16th, this nerve starts receiving new messages. These signals do not necessarily manifest as ideas or pictures. Instead, they are typically involuntary physical activities, with saliva production being one of the most sensitive markers. Why? Because saliva production indicates relaxation and preparedness. Your body is no longer fighting or fleeing. It's attempting to transition into a deeper flow. The swallowing response is your system's attempt to absorb this new quiet frequency, even if your intellect has yet to catch up. So, when it happens, don't dismiss it. Do not believe you are nervous. You are getting. The energy change is being processed by the most primitive portions of your body. This is your nervous system, adapting to transport more spirit without short-circuiting. As simple as it sounds, it is one of the most obvious signals that something deeper is regulating your frequency from within. Between July 12th and 16th, you may become more sensitive of shadows. Not symbolically, but physically. You could see movement in your peripheral vision. You may notice changing black regions where nothing moves. You may even notice that the light surrounding you has a different density, as if the space has become thicker. This is not the result of deteriorating vision. Your visual sense is being recalibrated to detect nuances. Your brain often filters out during the latter phases of energy integration. The way your eyes see light and space begins to change. You are truly growing sensitive to energy layers. You and everything else are separated by an invisible field. These shadows or fleeting flickers are not spirits or hallucinations, but rather changes in how light bends through your consciousness. It may feel like a glitch. It might feel like a fleeting presence, but it is you, not them. This also suggests that your third eye is opening indirectly, not via dreams or intuition, but through vision and sensibility. Your body is beginning to detect depth movement and minor distortions in the air that your former self missed. Most people will disregard this, but if you're observing, you'll notice when it happens. It will not feel terrifying. It will feel as if your world has become somewhat more transparent, as if something is observing you from within rather than from without. This is a delicate, unusual, and exquisite indicator of waking, when your eyesight suddenly ceases to be just sight and becomes perception. Your jaw feels different, not painful, but loose, as if something you've been unknowingly clenching for years has finally let go. You may feel like yawning more frequently, opening your mouth wider than normal, or gently catching yourself and massaging the sides of your jaw without thinking. This is not arbitrary. It is not dental. It is not anxiousness. It's an electric outpouring from your expressive center. Your jaw is closely linked to repressed communication, the realities you've never said, the aspects of yourself. You held back the tension caused by not speaking what needed to be stated. Over the following several days, your soul will begin erasing these holding patterns, starting with your face. Why now? Because you're moving from reacting to expressing, and when your spirit is ready for fresh knowledge to flow through you. The mouth, throat, and jaw are the first areas cleansed. That sensation of surprising contentment in silence. That surprise yawn when nothing is occurring. That is your system, preparing to talk without opposition. Not to others, but to you. If you have this feeling, acknowledge it. Breathe into it. Place one hand under your chin and see how much strain you've been carrying for others and how it's now dissipating. Your voice may not alter, but your willingness to say the truth only grows. Your hands and feet are frequently the last portions of your body to respond to your inner shift. However, at high-frequency changes such as this one, they become conductors. You may experience a faint, buzzing warmth, or perhaps a tingle that comes and goes, particularly when you are still. Your palms may feel magnetized, as if they emit or absorb unseen currents. When your feet come into contact with some surfaces, particularly natural ones such as wood or grass, they may feel like they're humming. This symptom serves a function. You are not malfunctioning. Your Grammy's new frequencies. The palms and soles are packed with nerve endings and small energy centers. When your core system gets an awakening pulse, these end points begin to transmit that energy outward. This buzzing or tingling is merely the body releasing what it no longer needs, while also tuned into what's coming next. Think about this anchoring. You acquired something within, and now your body is attempting to stabilize it outside. The buzz in your palms indicates that you're holding a new kind of truth. You feel a buzz in your feet. It indicates you're being asked to walk differently, more gently and deliberately. Do not ignore the unusual warmth as vibration. They're not mirrors. These are messages. Your body is currently becoming a transmitter, and it has never occurred like this before. This is one of the most obvious symptoms that something weird is going on inside you. Between July 12th and 16th, many people may report waking up tireder than the night before. However, this is not a case of insufficient sleep. It's not unrest. You feel like you've been doing something all night, as if you've gone somewhere or are involved in something essential. You may recall unusual dreams or awaken with random ideas that do not seem to be your own. You may have physical discomfort, particularly in your arms or hips. You did not toss or turn in yet because there was no physical cause. Your body feels drained. That's because it happened during moments of high energy. Your consciousness doesn't just rest, it works. During this phase, your dream realm transforms into a laboratory of release. Your soul may be analyzing timelines, deleting patterns, or integrating downloads for preparation purposes, rather than amusement. You're not resting when sleeping. You are reconstructing. The exhaustion you experience in the morning is a result of intense exercise. Your waking self is still unfamiliar with this activity, but your body remembers. And this is just temporary. The tiredness will fade after the change is fully integrated, which is expected after July 16th, and you'll have a peculiar sensation of emotional clarity. As if you hadn't recently slept. You finish something. You're not going nuts. You're graduating, and your spirit is working overtime to ensure that your body is prepared to catch up. If the last few days have felt strange, not in a chaotic sense, but in a very inward way, know this. It is not random. It is not a sickness. It is not in your brain. It's authentic and lively. These symptoms don't appear because anything is wrong. They occur when something concealed tries to surface and leave you forever. The period from July 12th to 16th is more than just an energy fluctuation. It's a spiritual checkpoint, a hidden path where individuals who are ready to progress inside will first fill it with bodily language, such as your skin, jaw, eyesight, and sleep. They aren't betraying you. They are translating energy that your conscious mind is still unable to express. And the more you trust your body's intelligence throughout this period, the faster it will stabilize and guide you through the following phase. The transition is occurring, and you do not need to force it. Simply notice, listen, rest, hydrate, breathe. Above all, honor the unusual. Because what seems unusual today might be a sign that your enlightenment has become tangible. Subscribe if you've experienced any of these emotions, since what comes next will be far deeper.